Hi everyone, it's Erlene of the Hollywood Carney YouTube channel, and today I have a fun project for you to do from the baby clothes that were your favorites and you just can't get rid of. So this is what we're going to make. This is my grandson's baby clothes and my daughter's favorite ones. So I'm going to save the front panel for another project that I will be sharing with you. I cut out some squares, and for this project you will be needing scissors, fusible webbing, a choice of baby garments, some felt, your sewing machine, or this could be done by hand, and some yarn. I ironed some fusible webbing on each piece just to make it a little bit more sturdy, and you can take anything to draw a circle. I'm using one of these templates. You can use a bottle cap or a quarter, and I'm cutting out circles for the eyes. I'm also going to fold over the fabric and imagine what lips look like. This is a very forgiving project, so you can just cut out any shape lips because this is a toy and it's meant to be fun. And then I'm going to cut out a lowercase d, and that will be our nose. And then cut out two football shape pieces. Now they don't have to match, it's totally up to you, and those will be the eyes. And then I'm going to go through some felt and cut out some hearts, and those will be the pupils. And it's okay if it comes out a little wonky because we're going to put it on the sewing machine and sew over it. And I just had some scrap felt. I felt that it would need it to be outlined a little. So instead of trying to do embroidery, I just thought, why not use a felt? So I'm going to do the same thing and cut out, there's the hearts are the pupils, and your little grandbaby or niece or nephew or friend's baby will know that you always have hearts in your eyes for them. And then I ironed some more fusible webbing, and it's just a little scrap pieces that I had left over, and always be sure to save that because you never know when you might need it for a small project like this. So, and it's so easy to sew on your sewing machine, and it should be pretty easy to do by hand. Now, this is the perfect project to do with recycled clothing or t-shirts. It doesn't have to be baby clothes. It could be any type of a stretchy garment. Well, you could use cotton as well. It doesn't have to be stretchy fabric. I just thought it would be fun. And also what I'm going to do, once I get done ironing all of these pieces on, oh, by the way, don't worry about the ink. It will be covered with your sewing machine or embroidery, whatever you decide to do. And make sure that you cut out a different color background for all of your facial features. So what I was going to say earlier is the reason that I ironed the fusible webbing on the back is because since this is a sheer t-shirt fabric, I want it to still stay vibrant. So I'm going to use a different t-shirt as the backing, and it just stabilizes it as well, but it keeps the color true. So peel off all your paper, and just if you have a hard time peeling this little pieces off, just kind of like bend it and it'll just pop right out. When I make crazy artsy fartsy projects like this, I like to use the different stitches on my sewing machine so I can try them out and see what they look like. So when I make another project, I'm like, oh yeah, that one was pretty cool. So we ironed all of the pieces together, and I'm going to use a rotary cutter. Of course, you can use your scissors. And since this is just going to be like a triangle, you can just cut it by hand. It's a fun doll. Nothing is perfect in art. I've made a ton of dolls growing up, and I just thought this would be fun for a baby because it's just the head, and then we can attach limbs and you don't have to cut out hands or fingers or anything with a lot of detail. So right here I'm going to, looks like iron to this is going to be the back of the head, and it looks like I may have to trim off some of the face, but that's okay. I made this video maybe about a month or so ago, and then I had company, and then I had some projects going on, and I totally forgot about this, and I was like, oh my God, this is so fun. So let's just share it with the world. Now, it looks like I'm going to cut the, what am I doing? Cut 2 pieces for the legs that are about 6.5 inches by 2.25 for the legs. And it looks like, again, I will be cutting like a D shape. So it will be for the foot and calf area. And then the other little leftover pieces, I'm just going to fold those over as arms. And this is going to go inside on the side of the head. Now you could actually just make some big old giant ears and leave it like that if you wanted to. That would be fun as well. But I'm just going to cut out a boot shape or a lowercase d shape again. And that will be sewn on the front. I'm just doing it freestyle. Okay, I guess I'm believing in myself there, and that's what we should all do. So it looks like I sewed down the sides of the arms and turned them outside. And on the back of the leg, I left about 1 inch or so open, and then I'm going to go back and whip stitch it after I reverse everything. I think I felt it was probably easier instead of trying to get that foot through the little tiny opening at the top. Wow, that looks cute. So Hobby Lobby had a 90% off sale on their Easter projects, and I ended up buying this cotton because I actually wanted to make some really cool voodoo dolls. And whenever I was making the doll, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to stuff it with? And then I remembered my handy dandy sale. I ended up with a lot of cool stuff. Whenever they do have a sale or you see anything that's in a sale bin, it's the time to buy it because you never know when you're going to need it for a different project. Even though it does say Easter on it, it is cotton and it is going to be used as stuffing. So I sewed the top of the legs after they were stuffed and the arms. And what we're going to do is prepare our yarn. So I had purchased this yarn, I think, at the Dollar King, and it was a really nice feeling soft yarn that was originally supposed to be for another baby project. But I was like, this is going to be amazing doll hair. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it over so a baby cannot pull it out of the seam. And it is thick enough to where it will stay in and it will be sturdy. Each piece looks like it's about 12 inches long before I folded it over. So let's sandwich it inside the head. And this was actually easy to sew over. You might want to go a little bit slow depending on what type of sewing machine you have. And I pinned it all in place. And what I'm going to do, just so it doesn't get all discombobulated, I'm going to tie the hair together just with a string so we can keep it together. Sometimes when I watch my videos over, I'm like, wow, I made that. Oh, the man. So actually, this is so cute. I feel like I want to make a few more. And, you know, if you think outside of the box, like I'm always suggesting, you could even make like a little tiny purse for a little girl or a little satchel for a boy to carry their favorite toys in. And, oh, gosh, the ideas are endless. So this is where we're going to tie the hair temporarily closed so it doesn't get tangled. And then we're going to pin the limbs in place. Now, it can be even or uneven. It's just how you want to design your doll. I did name this doll Frankie for my little Frankenstein doll. After I pinned all of the limbs in place, we need to leave openings so we can reverse the doll. So that's what I did on the sides. This is so adorable. Now that would even be pretty cute if the feet were two different colors as well. I did about 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I did mark on the fabric where I wanted to leave it open just in case I forgot, because you know when we get involved sewing we forget, and sometimes sew things close, or well, at least I do, and then it's like, we gotta use a seam ripper and rip that sucker apart. So okay, it looks like I sewed the bottom and left about 3-4 inches on each side, and then sewed up the side to the top of the head, and it was plenty of space for me to reverse it. And of course, don't forget to do a little bit of back stitching whenever you're sewing, because that will secure it for whenever you reverse your doll or your project so the seams don't rip open. And let's look at it. Wow, that looks like a lot of fun. And it looks like I'm using scissors, or you can use a chopstick or something fairly sharp, not too sharp, so you can poke out the corners. Look at that. It is really a soft toy, so this is, I just thought would be so much fun for a baby. And then there goes that on sale cotton. I love a good sale. Some of my best projects come out of finding things on sale. Now let's pin the sides closed, and then we're going to do just a basic whip stitch. Now if you're a little bit more detail oriented, you may want to use like different color thread or embroidery floss and really make it its own. You could even embroider fingers if you liked, or eyelashes, or even around the whole circumference of the head. But this was just, for me, just something fun and easy, and something that my grandson can remember me by when he's throwing it across the room. So once we're done with that, let's open that bundle of luscious hair and trim it. And what I decided to do after I trimmed it, I wanted to put a little, just an overhand knot on each hair strand. You don't have to. You could just leave it all wonky. This is your art doll. You do you. I liked the overhand knot for this thick yarn because it gave little hands something to hold on to there. So let's recap. And by the way, this doll is fully washable. So let's recap. I started out with my daughter's 3 favorite little baby outfits, and voila, I recycled them into a little miniature piece of 3D artwork that will be cherished for a long time. And if you're creating this for a bigger child, be sure and add fabric roses or ribbons and sequins and crystals and studs to it to give it its own little personality. So thank you again for taking the time to create this little Frankenstein doll head with me. It was a lot of fun. And recycle, recycle, recycle. Please subscribe and be safe out there. Have a happy day. Bye.